If you're planning on launching your website soon, you might be wondering, how many pages do I even need to include on there to start? Or you might be caught up in thinking that you need a gazillion pages to actually launch your website. In this video, I'm going to answer the simple question of how many pages do you actually need to launch your website, what those pages are, and what the purpose of each website is. Then I'll also share one optional website that you do not need to have to start your website or to launch it, but it is highly recommended that you add it as soon as possible after you've launched. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ana. I am the owner and designer of Lea Design Studio, or where I create custom Squarespace templates, courses, and resources to help you look great online. And here on this channel, I share design, marketing, and tech tips to help you work smarter and not harder. So if that is something that you're interested in, hit that subscribe button. And now let's dive into today's video. Okay, so let me first eliminate all doubt, answer all questions, or the pressing question that is on everyone's mind. There are only 5 pages that you need in order to launch your website. That's it. You don't need more, you don't need less. There are only 5 pages that you need. What those pages are: your home page, your about page, your services page, your contact me page, and your freebie sign up page. Now, let's get into specifics. Why those pages? What is the purpose of each page? And what should be included on every page. So let's start with the homepage. The homepage is the first thing that your visitors are going to see when they enter your website address. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to be the first page that they land on, but it's usually the second or the third most viewed page on your website. So that page needs to tell them exactly what you do, who you are, how you help them, what makes you different, and it needs to give them a brief overview of everything that you have to offer. Now, when I say everything, I don't mean that you need to have a bajillion different services, a bajillion different products, or a bajillion different courses. In fact, it is better if you have less, but you do need to give them an overview of the kind of main offerings that they can find on your website. So this can be a free download, it can be a low-cost package and a high-cost package, or it can be a low-priced package, a medium package, and a high-cost package. And then you also want to share a little bit about yourself and use this page as a jumping off point to go deeper into your website. The About page is counterintuitively not about you. Yes, it's the place where people can learn more about you and what you have to do and learn more about you as the person behind the brand, but it primarily needs to be focused on your ideal client and show them that you are the right person to help them, that you understand what they're going through, and that you can deliver the results that you're promising. You need to focus it more on your expertise, empathy points that show that you understand what they're struggling with, and basically lead them to that next step, to the services page, which needs to be all about your services. So the way you can structure your services page is in 2 ways. If you only have one type of service, but you have different packages for it, then I recommend having just one service page and listing your different packages on it. So for example, let's say that you are a coach and you have a 3-month coaching package and a 6-month coaching package. If the structure of those coaching packages is the same, but the only difference is the length of time, then I would recommend keeping them on one page and listing the prices for each of those packages on that one page. But if you have one-on-one coaching packages and you have a group coaching program, then I would recommend having 2 different services page, one for each of those services, because they're different and they will appeal and speak to different audiences. Somebody who wants to work with you one-on-one will probably not be interested in working in a group setting. Similarly, those who want more of a community feel and knowing that they're working alongside other people, they will be more interested in your group coaching program, but not necessarily in working with you one-on-one. So those are 2 different types of people, and that's why you need 2 different services pages for each of those packages. Then we have the contact page, which is often very underrated, and I find that on most websites that are DIY'd, so to speak, it's usually kind of like an afterthought. But your contact page is actually where most of the conversions happen. So this is where people will actually reach out to you to get in touch with you, to learn more about your services, or to even inquire about working with you in general, or asking you to speak on their podcast or be a guest on their show or something like that. So that contact page needs to be structured in a way that actually makes them want to reach out. For that reason, I recommend including, besides the obvious contact form, I also recommend that you include a smiling photo of yourself, because that can increase conversions and can make your contact page look more human. And I also recommend including an alternative way of reaching out to you, whether that's directly listing your email address or listing a phone number that they can call you on, something like that, because not everybody will want to fill out a form. So for that reason, you want to include those alternative methods of contact that they can get in touch with you. It's also a good idea to tell them how fast or how slow you will reply to their email. So at the very top of the page or right next to the contact form, you can say, I will reply to your email within 24 or 48 business hours, or however long it takes you to actually reply to emails, depending on how often you want to reply, check your inbox, how busy you are, and stuff like that. But it gives them an expectation. It sets an expectation for, okay, I sent it and she'll get back to me within this time frame. It just makes you look more professional, and it doesn't leave them wondering, like, will she even reply to me? Did she get it? Will I hear back from her or from them? So that's why you want to include this on your contact page. And lastly, the freebie page or the landing page. Why you want this? Why I'm recommending this? Because 98% of the people who come to your website will not be ready to hire you immediately. Now, if you don't have a way of actually staying in touch with them, that's a lot of money you're leaving on the table. And while they may not be ready to work with you, they may want to get a feel for you, so to speak. And the best way to do that is by offering them something for free. This doesn't need to be anything elaborate. You don't need to go creating a whole free email course or a masterclass or something like that. It can be as simple as a checklist of steps that they need in order to complete something. For example, one of my freebies is a Squarespace checklist that shows you how to launch a website with Squarespace if you're just getting started. And it literally takes you through the step-by-step process of sign up for Squarespace, create your account, choose your template, and all of that good stuff. So it is simple, and it solves them a pain point, and it gives them a quick win. And that is essentially what you want your freebie to do. So that is why I recommend having those 5 pages on your website. Now, optionally, as soon as possible, ideally, you'll want to add a blog page. Why? Because blogging is one of the best ways that you can have to market your business. It gives you a lot of content where you can add additional keywords. It really makes your website look more appealing to the search engines as a whole. And it's another way to build trust and establish your authority on a certain topic. Now, when I say blogging, I don't necessarily mean blogging. You can also create YouTube videos like these. If you prefer podcasts, you can create podcast episodes, but something that allows you to share long-form content with your audience. Now, if you're wondering what potential clients want to see when they land on your website and before they hire you, I have a video that you can watch right here. And if you're looking for help on getting started with Squarespace, I do have a free checklist that walks you through that process, which you can get at my website, and I will leave a link to it down in the description below, so be sure to check that out. That's it for today, and I'll see you next time.